Welcome to the deep dive. Today, forget scrolling, we're doing something different.
We're really honing in on just one piece of creative work.
Yeah, a poem called The Way I'm Wired for Christ.
Exactly. So think of this as, well, an intense look, not a huge topic, but one specific expression.
And the poem deals with something pretty specific, right? The intersection of Christian faith and living with ADHD.
That's the core of it. And our mission, if you like, for this deep dive is to unpack how the poem sees these two things interacting. Do they clash? Do they maybe empower each other?
It definitely jumps right in, those first lines. A Christian heart, a mind alight, with thoughts that race and take quick flight.
Yeah, and then they call it ADHD. It's true. It shapes the things I think and do.
So right away, it just lays it out there. This is the reality, faith, experience through this ADHD wiring.
But what's really interesting, I think, is how quickly it grounds itself in faith. The very next thought is,
But central, burning, clear, and strong, a love for Christ, my soul's true song.
right, and then it contrasts that this isn't quiet, neat, contained. This vibrant love can't be restrained.
So key thing here seems to be faith presented not as, calm and collected.
Not at all. More like this dynamic, almost explosive energy, a really vibrant love.
And that passionate feeling, it leads naturally into how the speaker talks about it, expresses it.
Which the poem gets into next.
So yes, I talk about his grace at my own speed and my own space. Perhaps with passion, fierce and fast, on truths designed forever last.
There's a real acceptance there, isn't there? Accepting a unique way of communicating faith. Maybe not the standard way, but their way.
And it makes you think about internal thoughts, too. How do those connect, the poem says?
Yeah, this bit. Maybe the threads seem slightly frayed, connections only my mind made. But trace them back, the source you'll see is always Christ who lives in me.
So even if the thoughts seem scattered, maybe jumping around like they can with ADHD.
Exactly. The poem is suggesting, well, there's still an underlying logic, an internal connection. And that source, that anchor, is Christ.
Okay, now this next part, for me, this is where the perspective really clicks. It says, it's not despite the way I'm wired, it's with this energy, inspired.
Yes. That shift from despite to with, that's huge.
It totally reframes it. It's not an obstacle to faith anymore.
It becomes part of the energy for faith. It taps into broader ideas about neurodiversity, seeing value in different ways of being. Faith becomes inclusive.
It doesn't demand everyone fit one mold.
Precisely. And then the idea that this unique design, as the poem calls it,
is purposeful, a tool divine.
Yeah, it reframes difference not just as acceptable, but maybe even intentional, purposeful.
This earnest heart, this rapid thought, are instruments the master sought. It flips the script, suggesting these traits could actually be assets.
Assets for what, though? The poem suggests for contribution, for sharing faith.
Right, the ending lines. To share his word in ways anew, authentic, passionate, and true.
It brings it around to purpose. Perhaps this is my sacred role, an ADHD Christian soul.
Used by my God to reach a goal and help to make another whole. So finding meaning through this specific wiring, not in spite of it.
Exactly. Reaching people authentically because of who you are.
So if we boil it down,
Yeah.
The main takeaway is what? It feels like this really powerful integration.
I think so. It's not about fixing or overcoming the ADHD to be faithful. It's about how they exist together, intertwined.
Maybe even strengthening each other.
Possibly. The central insight really feels like self-acceptance within faith. Your unique wiring isn't a bug. It's potentially a feature, a path to purpose.
A powerful message. It suggests our own ways of being aren't barriers.
Right. They could be strengths. Which leads us, I suppose, to a final thought for you listening.
How might leaning into your own unique ways of thinking or feeling or just experiencing the world, how might that reveal unexpected strengths?
Or new ways to connect, maybe find purpose, something
Right.
to think about?